I'm of the opinion that it is easy to run a political party. It is very difficult to fight an election, and especially it is more difficult for those parties that represent the marginalized communities who have to face this immense burden. And then with the advent of this genie called electoral bonds, it has become very difficult for a political party like me to fight elections, because for pressure parties and parties representing marginalized groups, there is no possibility of obliging one's donors, because these parties don't enjoy power, and nor do they have this caste and community networks that can mobilize large sums of money. The party which I represent, we do a lot of work apart from fighting elections and giving so-called hate speeches. I feel that if a member of a party is drawn to an ideology, that basically solves this problem of which today's topic is. And in the absence of ideology, then it's obvious that money becomes the basis on which parties have to sustain the whole machinery. To back up what I have said is that there is empirical data which says that the Hindu upper caste hold 41% of total wealth in the country, which is almost double their population size of 22.28%. The next biggest slice of wealth pie is cornered by the Hindu OBCs at close to 31%, a less than their population size of 35.66%. Muslims own 8% of the country's total assets, while their share of households stands at nearly 12%. And as expected, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes own substantially less share of assets, 11.3% combined, as compared to the population size of 27%. Now, where does the money lies now? According to this empirical data, the money lies somewhere else. And that is where the political parties patronize, and then because they have to fight elections. And the parties that are established are supported by people who do not belong to these communities, obviously cannot think about fighting elections on the scale that they do. So, for example, Election Commission in the 2019 elections, this data is in public realm, that they seized around about 3,456.22 crores. I am of the opinion that this is a very small proportion. The cost goes beyond that. And according to Center for Media Studies, 55,000 to 60,000 crores was spent in the Lok Sabha elections, and you are absolutely right, the cost has gone from 60 to 100 crores per. And then they also say that the ruling BJP had spent about 45% of the total 700 crores. So the difficulty is not gaining volunteers or members, the problem is in expensive elections. That is where the problem lies. So political party will run, but the problem for us, the political party is fighting, and then over and above that we have this great absurd electoral, the first past the post system. That is really absurd. And this is the biggest I think so injustice which we are continuing with this British legacy, which a time should come very soon wherein the country should really decide on this. And then so the electoral system is designed in a manner that privileges national parties and discards smaller parties. For example, any national party having 7 MPs will get a subsidized land for construction in Delhi. And then the expenditure of star campaigners, up to 40 is not included in the expenditure of the party. So these disparities work in favor of larger parties and prevent newer or smaller parties from catching up. And then so basically there's no level playing field. The role of intermediaries is therefore overplayed. The real cost of sustaining a political party is in competing with disproportionately richer political groups which are now backed by corporate donations. This means that parties will not only have to compete for voters but also for being in good books of large businesses. Therefore, the most urgent reform I am of the opinion is that to prohibit all form of
सबसे पहले न्यूज़ देखने के लिए हमारे एशियन न्यूज़ को सब्सक्राइब करिए और इस बेल आइकन को दबाइए ताकि आपको अपडेट्स मिलती रहे।